Hello, everybody. Hey, it's Ken Faulkner. How y'all doing today? I'm waking up here on a Saturday morning. I got my Tim's School of Fish mug with some coffee in there, and not just any coffee. I got this unsweetened stock cold brew coffee, darker roast, still smooth. Nice, strong, wake you up in the morning coffee, Saturday morning. Oh, yeah, it's good. It's good. And yeah, I'm glad it's Saturday, guys. Uh, had a week last week. It was rough. It was like I got this knife during the week, and even that was making it hard. But we had kind of a heat wave, and I'm not really set up here for a lot of heat. We're by the ocean, so usually get good breeze, but didn't sleep so well. It's finally cooling down. Things are getting back to normal. Work's a little crazy too, that kind of stuff. Anyway, I got this knife. I think I was talking about it before. It's a Labor Day sale. I love to find deals. There's been some really good grail type knives that I've gotten that I get this like 100 plus discount on, and I couldn't be more happy. Renegade EDC, you can see the card there. That kind of narrows it down because, as far as I know, they only have two knives. One is the what's the one? The Loki, or is it the Loki? Anyways, I know it's related to that, but that's not this knife. This one is the Gungnir. So yeah, it's got a batch of 300. So I'm 273 of 300. M390 steel, finished satin, green handle. It's micarta, really cool. I'll show you in a second. Satin blade, little signature. Couldn't read it if you had a gun to my head. But anyway, there it is right there. So card of authenticity. I picked this one up at Blade HQ. I was just trying to, it's like when they had National Knife Day. You just look around. I've been trying to save some money on the purchases I make. I kind of trying to hold myself back from spending so much money. But this is a knife that I have wanted to have for a long time. It was Brandon Thrasher that was the first one I ever saw show this knife. And it's got a cool case. Very cool case. And ever since then, and he was very fond of it. And he let us all know how great of a knife it is. And I was very much into it. It was hard to get. Obviously, it's a small batch. I don't know how many they made. I guess this is a run of 300 here. But they're, obviously probably going to be more than that. But it was always difficult to find. And I was scrolling through, you go on, especially this, like a Blade HQ, you get this long scrolling thing. You got this silica gel there, where you're scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. And yeah, I found this guy. I was really kind of surprised. I didn't even know that I'd always seen it on the Renegade website, but I didn't even realize that Blade HQ was selling them as well. And yeah, so there it is. And it was under $300, which is unheard of. I've never seen it for under $300. So that's right in that sweet spot. I mean, I will spend more than 300, but under 300 it's a lot easier for me to swallow, especially lately. Just, money's tight. I know all you guys are feeling it, unless you're like some billionaire out there, that doesn't care that the price of food has gone up or whatever. You're all feeling it, and I'm feeling it. And I could spend more money, but I want to save. I want to save some money for my future. I'm 60 years old now, and retirement's on its way. So I want to, not be fully dependent on a check from the government to live off of when I get to retirement. So anyway, just going on and on. these are the kinds of things that kind of made my week a little hard. It was like tough kind of going through some of that stuff. But this knife definitely helped me through it. And it's a big guy. I like this case. Nice foam. Kind of like something you get from some of the companies, the ones I'm talking about. Usually it's the big knives too, right? So anyway, very cool case. But this is the real star of the show. So we got some titanium bolsters on here. I don't know, a little pivot collar. This is that micarta. It's a green. It's really quite dark. And it's the kind that changes color from the oils in your skin that I really, really like. It's pretty smooth, but you can feel some texture there for sure. I guess they have a 3D milled titanium clip or a wire clip. I am a fan of wire clips. I think that the milled titanium looks really cool, but I think the wire clip actually works the best for me. And it is a big guy. Gungnir. The name, I guess it comes from Odin, from mythology, Vikings, Odin, and it's his spear. The spear is named Gungnir, and this thing looks like it could be a spearhead there. It's a big monster. Big monster. Really nice grind lines on that hollow. It's a big monster. That grind lines up here on the swedge, and then you got the vertical on the rest of it. So it looks really, really nice. It's got the bolster lock, which I like. You kind of get that benefit of a frame lock without having the problem of putting pressure on it when you're trying to open it. Man, as I've played with this over the week, it's just horse under the camera. It's been really great action. This edge is extremely thin behind the edge. The hollow on this thing, and it's kind of hard to show, but the hollow on this knife comes from a full 1/8 inch stock and just drops down dramatically to the point where down here at this point you're almost to the thinnest part of the hollow. So it's not messing around. I don't know that I would use this. I don't know what the heat treat is like and I'm not even sure who the OEM is. I wouldn't be surprised if it's like a Riyadh or somebody like that, but because it's such good quality. But it gets so thin down here, it's almost scary that you would be afraid that you're going to break that blade or roll it or something like that. I haven't had any problem with it, but I haven't really done anything too heavy with it. So let's see. I'm gonna get some paper here. As usual, not totally prepared. Got a page out of my old Spyderco catalog here, and just to kind of give you an idea of what's going on here. For such a big monster of a blade, sometimes you get these big blades and the geometry is just not great for slicing. But that may be good, especially if you're planning on doing some serious, chopping of wood or anything like that. But this is a really nice knife. I mean, normally it's especially on their website, it's over $400 for this knife. But man, you can slice with this thing. You slice and get those. You kind of cut through the cut and change directions, and it just keeps cutting. It's just nice. I mean, if you like slicey knives and big knives at the same time, this is probably the most slicey big knife in my collection. And I guess one of the things that I should mention that doesn't really bother me too much, but there's not a lot of access to the lock bar. It does chamfer, kind of does that thing where it chamfers on both sides here, so it gives you room to kind of stick your thumb in there, and that really doesn't bother me a lot. It may bother some people. The deployments are going to be the flipper tab, and that's a good acoustics. Because it's a big blade, it really comes out, and the titanium always adds to that. It just, and the action is dropping. Nice detent is very close to when you open it. That's where the detent is right there. So you just have to get it just a little past that, and it just drops. It drops smooth. It's not like swinging down hard, but it's very smooth. So, because this is a big knife, I mean, it's that hollow makes the blade a little less heavy, but it would definitely chop something off, especially with it being so slicey. This groove for the deployment is a little smaller than a lot of the ones that I've seen. So I don't really get my finger in as far as I would normally expect to get. I'm never good with thumb on a hole. I can actually get it when I'm not on camera, but the thing is on here that I thought I'd mention is that it's fairly sharp here. So instead of being rounded off, it catches your finger really well. So even though you're not really able to get that finger into the groove very far, it still is going to catch a hold of it because the edge of here is a little sharp. I don't ever feel it unless I'm actually kind of digging for it. It's kind of like good jimping. You know how there's some good jimping that it just grabs you. You know, it grabs you, and that's what this does. It grabs. It's got, I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but it's kind of got this stepped down edge. So it's kind of in a chamfer direction, but it's like little terraces, like little, I don't know, you can't really focus. If I had a better camera, maybe one day, you would see that it's done in steps. So there's like little edges as it goes down. It's a very interesting design. The jimping on here, I mean, it feels very, very good in hand. Very tall here. I guess I should measure some of this stuff. The handle itself is very tall. It fills the hand very well. So we're talking about a little over 1.25 inches to 1 3/8 height on that handle. And then I'm looking at probably good 1/2 inch, maybe a little bit more on the width. So it definitely fills the hand. You know, I like bigger knives, and that is a big plus for me. It's a good size this way, so your handle length is going to be over 5 inches. Over 5 inches. Now, some people would say, oh, maybe that's too long. You got too much hanging out down here. That never has really been, I'm not really sure why people worry about that. I know it's a thing because people say it, but it feels like it's not sliding around in my hand. It swells out a little, it flares out a little bit down at the end. Got a place for a lanyard if you want it. Does not reverse, the clip will not reverse. I don't know if you can get left-handed versions or not. But I'm a righty, so that's, you know, I'm kind of like more interested in my thing, I guess. But, you know, it's nice when they allow you to be able to switch it over. 2 jumps on the flipper tab. Not that I use it that much, but it does work well enough. The jimping out here, they don't really have it back towards the bolster and pivot. But up here, if you want to get into a cut like this and really push through a cut, you got some jimping up here, and it feels good. Works well. You could come up and pinch on this thing. That tip is very much going to slice. It's very much going to cut. So, you know, I've done some cutting with this. Just that tip is nice and sharp. I wouldn't pry with it necessarily, but it's not super weak either because it is got that sheep's foot kind of design where it comes down. Yeah, so I mean, I really have gotten to like this knife more and more as I've had it over the week. I was meaning to do a video on it earlier, but, you know, I've been kind of not too thrilled about my week this week, so I kind of put it off, and now it's Saturday. I'm feeling much better today, I'm telling you. You know how I am. I usually like to break out a few other knives to compare it. And since this guy is a big old guy, not quite Sawtooth Dave big, but for me, this is a big knife. I'll get out some of my other ones that are in this size range. So I got the Goblin, and I was showing this the other day. Fairly recent purchase for me, but in reality, it's kind of dwarfed by this Gungnir. And then I got another one that I was showing when I got that made this knife, the Goblin, look small, is the Kaiser Sheepdog XL. And you can see it's right in the range of that knife. And I've always felt like this is just a monster knife. Obviously, the blade is taller on the Sheepdog, but it's got the same amount of length to it for sure. Another one, effing Grow 906. This one's kind of a funny one. I got this one on a giveaway back when I used to win giveaways. I don't know what happened. It doesn't really happen anymore. And yeah, that was a big one. And again, we're looking at slightly smaller than the Gungnir, I think. It looks like it to me. And then another big monster of a knife. Well, I'll save this one for last. And we'll go to the off-grid Cayman XL. And we'll put this one up above. And also a nice long knife. Boy, this one's got a wicked tip on it. But still a little bit smaller than Gungnir. I don't know if I'm losing these on the camera. No, I still got them on there. And last, but certainly not least, is the 4MAX Scout from Cold Steel. And this one for sure has got to be long. Yep, it's bigger. It's definitely bigger. Even if you put it like this, you can see pivot to pivot. It's a little bit longer. Not much, though. So if you have any of these knives, if you're like big knives, you probably have some of these knives. If not, maybe not. So here we go. Here's a comparison that might be a little bit funny for you. Get these big guys out of the way. When I bought this one on Blade HQ, because it was a sale and all that, I got the money off, and they also, because I spent more than $200, I think it was, I got a free knife, the Penguin. So there you go. Good size comparison. Everybody's got to have a penguin, right? So if you got a Penguin, you can see this thing is much bigger than the Penguin. All right, guys. So yeah, I'm enjoying this knife. I've wanted it for years and finally have it. It's another one of those knives, I've been chasing after, and I got a great deal on it. I feel good about that. So anyway, you guys have a good one, and I'll try to get some more videos out this week. All right. I'll see you on the next one.